homies, it's Yolz and welcome back to Midweek Motivation. Today I'm talking about something that I've heard a lot of people complain about, and the reason I'm talking about it is because in case you didn't know, public speaking apparently is more feared than death worldwide. Why? I don't understand. So when you even speak about networking, people are just like, I'm not a public speaker, why should I be networking? Then there's the other spectrum, which I'm hoping is going to be you, where you're asking yourself, well, where do I start, y'all? How do I start networking? How do I get people to know I am there? If I'm sitting in a room with a lot of people who are like-minded, how do I approach them? Where do I start? So I want to be that person to teach you how to network. That is literally I think it is our first practical midweek motivation video, because I want us to get out of our shell. I really want us to learn how to get to a point where we're like, hi, my name is Yolz, lovely to meet you. Boldly, confidently in ourselves, knowing very well that that handshake could be the next handshake to your job, your next promotion, your next open door, who knows, you know? A lot of the times we don't even realize that even in social spaces, networking skills do help you get yourself out there. They also help you get out of your shyness if you're a shy person. I know my husband is super shy, but when he is in business conferences, it is those networking skills that get him the next business deal. So let's get straight into this video. If you do enjoy it, you know what to do. Give it a massive thumbs up. Comment down below. Let me know if you do have networking skills. Do you have other tips other than the ones that I've given? And of course, I just want to know your opinion. Can you actually network? Can I put you in a room and say, get me 20, 30 business cards? Will you come out with them? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed already, why haven't you? Let's just wait for you to subscribe. Okay, after you've subscribed, please click that little bell next so that you get the notifications and be part of the gang notification gang. Let's get straight into this video. So where do I start? I'm going to start in your house, babes. Please go to the bathroom or wherever there's a proper mirror. Look at yourself and introduce yourself. You are more likely to be comfortable, right? And I always say, whatever room you're gonna get into, pretend it's your own home. Generally, if you are welcoming somebody in your own home, unless if it's the president, which is very unlikely, at least for me, you are not going to be nervous. Picture yourself meeting your friend's new friend's girlfriend or boyfriend, and they're coming to your home for a braai. You're going to open the door, right? And greet. So when you're standing in front of the mirror, do exactly that. Hi, welcome, right? That welcoming face and smile, that is what you need to use wherever you are. So now let's put you in a real life situation and get you into a conference setting where you're sitting at a table with people you don't know. In your head, go back to the head. Point number one, you're going to open the door. You're going to meet your boyfriend's friend's girlfriend or boyfriend, right? So what do? You get to the table, you smile. In your head, you're saying welcome. That smile. And you say, hi, my name is Yolz, and I am an engineer, or I work for Jones Lang LaSalle, whatever it is, depending on the context. Of course, you don't want to push your titles if it's not a title pushing conference, okay? Don't be that person who's like, hi, I'm Yolz, I'm a blogger, a South African YouTuber, and a hair enthusiast. No, this is not a hair conference, girl. Why are you doing all of this, okay? So obviously bring it to the context. But what I want to drive home first is your introduction is literally key. That whole thing of first impressions thing counts. It really does count, because half the time, that's when that 5 seconds interaction, that's where people decide whether or not they like you. And when people like you, they're generally they're going to be more open to talking to you. And if there's an opportunity behind their heads, whatever the opportunity could be, it's when they're going to present it to you. Between that 5 seconds of hi, I am whoever, that is when they are making up their minds on whether or not they like you and how they feel about you and where they could possibly fit you in, whether it's in their business life or their networking space. Okay? And not everyone you meet is necessarily the door, but people can be door openers. Don't let yourself think those people don't count. Honey, I've met so many people who did not necessarily open the door, but they certainly walked me towards that door. And then I met someone else who opened that door. And then I met someone else who was on the other side of that door. Okay? That is the whole point of networking. It's literally just to be able to meet people who will possibly lead you to a place of success, whatever that is. Okay? And I don't want to put success as a pinnacle of, you know, entrepreneurial success or corporate success, social success. It's just literally for you to get out there and meet people. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So now we're done with the introduction. If you still do not know how to introduce yourself, go back to the bathroom, stand in front of the mirror, and again, picture that introduction between you and your boyfriend's friend, girlfriend. I forgot the titles, but that person, okay? And introduce yourself. Secondly, know who you are. Okay? I don't want to say hate is too strong of a word. I literally cringe when somebody gets to a point where they've introduced themselves and all of a sudden they don't know like what else to say. When you know who you are, there's definitely a conversation starter. So what I mean by that is know who you are in the context of whatever you are in. You at a business conference, right? Say you work in property like I did myself. In a property conference, I know who I am. I'm a senior analyst at a big commercial property firm. And generally, knowing who I am, I'm going to talk about something that's related to what I do, right? And what I do specifically. So I get there and I'm like, oh wow, I'm really surprised that there aren't any development agents here, because that's really who I wanted to talk more to and discover what they're doing at the moment. Or oh wow, I'm really surprised that there are not a lot of property CEOs here. You know, after listening to the panel talking, I would have expected more of them to be sitting in and amongst us. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you are insecure about who you are, that conversation starter is gone. It is completely gone. A lot of the times we project, and if we are scared of even talking about what we do or in the space that we talk about, the space that we're in, we project that fear onto somebody else, and generally somebody else moves on. They go and talk to somebody else who might be interested. Sometimes it even looks like you are impersonal and that you don't want to talk to them, yet you kind of do. So always think of that. Something else someone else used to do every time they had to go to a conference, because they were introverted, they would actually just write a few questions down. Questions related to the conference or questions related to the people they want to meet. So the people that do certain things that they believe, like QSs, I'm talking about property because I've worked in that space. You want to meet a QS, or you want to meet another senior analyst or marketing manager in the property space, because you don't maybe want to be in property anymore, but you want to be in marketing. Bigger picture, maybe sub-Saharan Africa space, marketing, not just property, but other things other than property or development or whatever. A strong sense of self helps other people perceive you a lot better and clearer, because they fully understand who you are just by you knowing who you are. They don't need to know the details. Just by you having a strong sense of, I know who I am. Hi, I'm Yolz, and I'm a senior analyst at Jones Lang LaSalle. Lovely to meet you. Who are you? Oh, really? And then now it's dead silence. You know, I really thought that the CEO of Redefined Properties would be here. I would have loved to chat with him. Automatically, conversation starter. You don't know what to say next. The person might not respond. Did you see that they're doing a lot of projects in Rosebank, actually? I'm really surprised because Rosebank is becoming such a boomer. You would have thought that Sandton would be blah, blah. You understand? And then you get into conversation. If you really, really must, don't talk about the weather even still. Talk about the environment that you're in. The weather can be an example of the environment that you're in. Oh, it's a really warm room. Is that aircon on? There's no need to talk about the sun outside and the clouds outside. You can literally talk about the temperature inside the room as a conversation starter. The next thing with networking, I'm only giving literally 5 steps. The next thing, which is the third thing. So now you've already done your greeting, your introduction, you know how. You know yourself, so now you've got your conversation starter. Whether or not it's in something you do know very well or something you are curious about, that is your conversation starter. Thirdly, going in for the kill. The one thing we are not taught in varsity is how to really ask the next person for their business card. Now you've had a fat conversation about the temperature in the room. Maybe you've even gone up to talk about what's going on outside and the weather. And now this conversation is getting dry. Find out what that person does. Sometimes it's not just understanding that they're QS at another property firm, but rather understanding what exactly they do and what projects they've done. Once you've done that, you could be like, well, you know what, if anything comes up in my space, I'd like to be able to reach out to you and email you. Do you have a business card? Do you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't always have to be the next person asking for your card. Even if you want them to be taking your business card, you can actually initiate that conversation. How do I ask if there's somebody that is older, a senior, and I've only got 2 minutes to talk to them? That is perfect, because you just keep it concise. You do the introduction quickly. You talk about your conversation starter, whether it is direct. Say it is Mark Wayner, chairman, I think he's the chairman of Redefined Properties. Hi Mark, he's obviously busy, doesn't have time for you. I am Yolz and I am a senior analyst at Jones Lang LaSalle. I would have loved to actually chat to you, but I can see you in a rush. It's a pity. Do you have your business card here? No, I don't. Is your PA around maybe? Or can I actually just jot down your email? You've got your notebook, right? You've already got your pen. Jot down his email, you are done. You literally go in for the kill. There is no need for you to drag conversations when you know what exactly you want from Mark Wayner, you know? So there you go. Now you've introduced yourself. Now you've gone in and initiated the conversation. And then you realize, okay, cool. I am 3 minutes into this conversation. Now I go in for the kill with the business card. You get the business card. What do you do next? It does not stop there. The one thing you don't want is for somebody else to feel that you want something from them, which is why when you're asking for their business card, it has to be something around maybe doing something for them, sending them something. I mean, I've even had people ask for my business card simply because they want to send me a research paper they think is relevant to my work. You know, there's no problem in doing that, okay? No problem in saying it like that, even though you know at the back of your head, you need this person for something, but you're not going to tell them that. So you get the business card. Next is keep on moving. Move on to the next person. You always want to go into a networking session with a mission in your mind. Honestly, you can't go and get Mark Wayner's card only. There are definitely other people out there. And the only way you can do and be better at networking is by practicing anyway. Now take the opportunity. You've only had 2 minutes with Mark. What if you can get 5 minutes with the CEO of Growth Point or Liberty, you know? What's a conversation starter if you're talking to somebody more Liberty? At this point, it could even be Corona, but you could talk about Santon, you know. Hi, you know, I know you guys own Santon City. How's it doing now that, you know, the breakout, blah, 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 whatever it is. You talk about the city or the little Santon being on lockdown. How is the trade going? How are the tenants feeling in that? You know, default risk. What are they looking at in the next few years? You don't have to dig deep, but I'm just saying that we live in an industry where most of us are knowledgeable about what we do in our jobs, right? Why don't you make that the conversation with your next person? So you get your next business card. Always have a mission to get at least more than 5 business cards if you are in a formal networking session. If you're at an event like maybe, if we still had it, me and Bumi, our Colorful Conversations event, and you don't know who you're meeting, but at the same time, you're like, I can't go to an event with 200 people and leave there not having spoken to any of them. Go there with a mind of saying, I want to at least speak to 5 people. I want to start my own business, so I want to target people who are entrepreneurs. Generally, events are pretty clear. Whether or not there's a Q&A, somebody asks a question and they say they're a business owner, or in our case, we were going to have 2 separate masterclasses, one on corporate, the other one on entrepreneurship. Whoever's gone to the entrepreneurial side, if you're interested in that, you would have gone with, right? You see people again in the same space. That is where you start targeting that girl, that girl, that girl. Ooh, if they've got name tags, even better, because now you know, oh no, she's in the hair business. Oh no, she's in the makeup business. I'm looking for somebody in the nail business. So now who can I talk to? Find that out. Go for the kill. That is literally my 4th step. Do not stop networking in that little space, and make sure you get at least 5 new people that you're meeting and you're putting yourself out there with. The 5th thing is something that someone taught me and drilled in my head. We don't do this enough. Follow up. Let me say that again. Follow up. This is for the people at the back. Follow up. After networking, you come home with all these business cards, right? Generally what I do is stick them in my wallet. After 3 or 4 months, I find them there and I'm like, oh, it's time to empty my wallet, and I chuck them away. You literally just throw them out. You did not follow up on any of those contacts. Any of those people could have been the door openers. Those people could have, opened stages for you. They could have created a platform for you and your career, a springboard for your career, for you to place yourself and go to where you desire to go or where you've always wanted to be. So the minute you come back and you've got 5 or 6 business cards, send them an email just thanking them for giving you their business card, or saying, hey, it was lovely meeting you at the conference, because we won't all remember who they are. At conference YYY, as promised, I wanted to attach this as the research we were talking about, or the paper that we were having a conversation about, or even my business. I had a brief chat to you about what I actually sell. This is what I sell. Networking is not just, again, for you to just meet people. It's a conversation starter and a door opener for you. So if you do have a business, the email is not going to say to you, oh no, don't send that brochure. Oh no, don't send that info about my business. Why? Why not? The person doesn't know what's coming, so the email is not going to block you, or you're not going to be blocked before the person receives it. The worst answer you can get is no, right? Put it in that email. Oh, and I'd really love to reach out to you. If you can and are free for coffee, I'd love to expand on our conversation. This is my cell number. Feel free to reach out to me anytime between 5 and 7, blah, 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 whatever, Do not underestimate that little follow-up. That email has led me to meet so many industry leaders and people in my field, to a point where I actually didn't even mention this, where I was headhunted, It makes it so much easier for the next person to know about you, or their next person, because your title will be there. Don't forget to add your signature and your title right at the bottom of your email. And you might be top of mind. The next time they're having another business conversation, they are the people or the first person to say, Iman, you are looking for a deco lady. Actually, I got an email the other day. I'm not even in the deco industry, but she was at a property conference. She does a lot of decorations, wedding expos, and this and this and that. Maybe you could use her. They literally just forward your email to the next person. Boom, you're getting clients. Boom, you're getting referrals. Do you know what I mean? So don't underestimate the power of following up after networking. In fact, if you don't follow up, it makes that whole number 1 step, talking to the mirror, absolutely pointless and absolutely useless. Those are my 5 tips to you getting yourself out there and hopefully opening doors for yourself. Of course, someone else is opening those doors, but intentionally, you are opening your own doors by simply opening your mouth, introducing yourself, and hopefully making those business relationships work for you. I love you guys so much, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's so practical, it's so different to what I normally do, but I do hope that you did enjoy it. I love you guys so much, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Bye.